The problem right now with the way our society is dealing with sexual criminality is that we're entirely reactive. We're not doing one thing to prevent sexual criminality. I want people to become part of the solution by becoming more informed. So part of the show is just listening to the story of the offender and learning from that one experience. But the more important goal of the show is to educate the community, to educate parents, to educate spouses, to educate law enforcement, and everyone else involved. Together we can make a difference. And I think watching the show is where it starts. Tell me about your sex crime.
Well, it all started when we took my great-nephew in. He was about 12 years old when we took him in. His mother was in trouble for drugs, embezzlement and stuff, so my wife wanted to take him in so he'd have a place to live and we'd raise him. We went on camping trips, went to scout meetings with him. I wasn't really active in church with him at that point because I haven't attended church probably in the last 25 years. And one day when he became, I think he was like 14, maybe a little over 14 and a half probably, somewhere right in there. Anyway, he got more interested in girls and wanted to know more about sex and different things. And during my childhood, we never really talked about sex or anything like that. It was kind of a forbidden taboo. And so I wasn't really sure how to go about that. And he wanted to know more about sex, and I kind of tried to explain a little bit to him, and he wanted to know about masturbation and stuff, and I never really thought much about it, and one day I just, when we got to talking more about it, I decided I'd show him how to masturbate.
Now, not too many families do that.
No.
Had you ever shown anybody else how to masturbate?
No.
Why did you make that decision to show him how to masturbate?
Truthfully, I didn't know any other way to explain it.
But were you sexually interested in him?
No.
Okay. So, and you'd never committed any kind of crime like this before?
No.
All right. So you decided you would show him how to masturbate. He was about 14?
14 and a half.
Right.
He was just entering puberty.
And what happened when you were there showing him, I mean?
What happened when I was there showing him?
Yeah, the very first time.
It was kind of nervous for me.
I mean, did you take your penis out of your pants and show him? Or?
No, I was in my boxers at that time. I was getting ready to go to bed.
Okay. And then what happened?
And then I masturbated and showed him.
Okay. And
that was
he?
That was the first time, and it was the only time it happened. And I realized at that time that I got to thinking about that a day or two later. And I says that wasn't right.
And then, did it ever get repeated?
No. Then as time went on, it didn't get reported or anything until he was about, I think it was 17 and a half years old.
Mm-hmm.
This is when we got into arguments. He became rebellion and accused me of ruining his life. And he wanted to spend more time out with his girlfriend, and he was going to go into the service, but he basically dropped out of school, got married, threw his whole career down the tubes. He accused me of breaking him and his mother up, not wanting them to see each other, and my mistake is when we was at the hospital one day when my wife was real ill, and she was intensive care, and he showed up, and I didn't want him there, but my daughter said he should be there because we was, a pretty good family. And I made some comments, if I had my way, he wouldn't be there. And I think he resented that a lot. And I think, and then he mentioned about what happened and stuff.
To his mom?
To his mom, because I became very bitter towards him.
Now, she had gotten out of prison by this time, of course.
No, she was out of prison already, probably a year and a half or two.
Okay, so a year and a half before he actually came out with the information about your teaching him how to masturbate.
Mm-hmm.
He was looking forward to getting adopted by you.
He was looking forward to getting adopted until he spent one night with his mother. And then all of a sudden, he wanted to go out with his girlfriend the one day. And I told him no, he had to clean his room first. And he sat in his room and refused to clean it. And I says, you're going to clean that room or you're not going out. And he says, don't worry about it. I'll take care of the problem. And the next day, he was gone.
Okay, so you adopted him at 12.
No, we took him in.
Okay, I got it. So you took him in when he was 12 years old.
Right.
And then at 14, you, for some reason we still haven't talked about, you decided you were going to show him how to masturbate.
Yeah,
you did that one time,
mm-hmm.
And there was water under the bridge.
Right, we talked about.
And if I could use that expression. And then at 17, he became rebellious.
Well,
and moved out. He took off.
Well, he started becoming more rebellious about 16 and a half.
And then at 17, his mom's been out, and it was just he was just about ready to be adopted.
It was one day before the adoption, and that's when he took off and said he would take care of things and just disappeared.
All right. And then he told his mother about your behavior when he was 14.
Right.
And then what did she do?
They went to the police department. She filed a police report.
Okay.
And then I went in for an interview.
The cops called you up.
And I went in interview. The interview was 2 hours long, and I lost it.
What do you mean?
What I did, that time my wife was real ill, sick. I was scared to death I was going to lose her. So the detective told me I could go home. I needed to be with my wife. I needed to take care of her. She needed me. All I had to do was say that I touched him. And I said I didn't. And she kept saying, you can go home if you'll tell us you touched him. And finally I did. I convicted myself.
Oh, so you admitted to something you hadn't done.
Yes.
But you had done something.
But I had done something.
Yeah, and either way, there was a sex crime.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what it came down to, it was embarrassing. I convicted myself. I said, yeah, I touched him. And she says, where? And I said, on the penis.
Okay.
And at that time, because during the interview, I just went to pieces. I started crying. I couldn't think straight. Just everything just fell apart for me.
Yeah, it's still upsetting today even to think about.
Yeah.
How many years has it been since that interview?
A little over 2.
Over 2 years ago. All right.